Okay, today's not going to be a normal, regular episode of the podcast. Obviously, I'm in Los Angeles. I'm in the middle of all of the fires that are happening in Los Angeles. So we're going to get into all of that and what people can do to support and what's really going on here in LA right now. So let's dive in. You're listening to No Filter with Zack Peter, your go-to source for all the latest pop culture and reality TV tea, served fresh all week long. Now, let's dive in. All right, guys, welcome on in. I feel like a hot ass mess. I haven't even taken a shower this morning. It's been crazy here in Los Angeles. I'm in downtown, so I'm at the center. Actually, I think I have a map that I can pull up for you guys. So I don't know if you can see this. Sorry, my hair's even a mess. It's just, sleeping is not, I don't think anybody's sleeping really well in Los Angeles right now. There were a ton of evacuations that happened. So to catch everybody up to speed, there was a fire that broke out in the Pacific Palisades. That's where you have a lot of really big homes, wealthy homes. A lot of celebrities lived out there. Adam Brody's house burned down. Anna Faris's house burned down. Spencer and Heidi's house burned down. Spencer and Heidi literally showed us footage of their house burning down from the inside. God, I wish I would have at least combed my hair a little bit. I wasn't sure if I was even going to do a podcast today, considering the climate that we are in at the moment. But it's not looking good. I can say that at least so from yesterday. So today's what, Thursday? So at least yesterday morning, I showed everybody what the sky looked like. It had this big black cloud. I'm in downtown. So I can kind of see more of a bird's eye view. But at least as of this morning, it was a bit more clear. The sky doesn't have, I mean, it's still really dark and still really cloudy, but at least, from what I'm able to see here in downtown, it does appear a lot of the black smoke has lifted. The air quality is still really bad. There's still a lot of debris everywhere. There's still a lot of ash everywhere. Breathing's a little rough, so a lot of people are wearing masks. I don't know what the news is reporting. I haven't been following the news, to be honest. I've only been following it through, what the people around me. I've had family that's had to evacuate. I've had friends that have had to evacuate. I'm lucky that I'm in downtown. And again, just for reference, if you can look at the map that I have on the screen from Watch Duty. So we have the Palisades fire, we have the Sunset fire, and we have the Eaton fire. The Hearst fire is a little further out of LA. That's more of in the valley. But so I'm in the center of at least the Palisades, the Sunset, and the Eaton fire. The Eaton fire's in Altadena. That's like Pasadena area. But so the craziest part is they're trying to tell us that the fire started in the Palisades, right? Which over by the beach, over close by Malibu. Now, LA is really big. A lot of the Palisades is gone. And just for reference, they're saying that the Palisades, the amount of devastation and the amount of the city that is burned down in the Palisades is equivalent, if not more, than the size of Manhattan in New York. So just think of the map of Manhattan and imagine all of that just being burned to ash to the ground. So that's where this initially originated from. We had some really strong winds on Tuesday night that were really concerning. And apparently that helped the fire spread. But to me, what doesn't make sense is the fire spreading from the Palisades from the Palisade fire to the Eaton fire, right? Because the Eaton fire, that's Pasadena, that's Altadena, that's very, very far apart. That's at least a good 35-mile distance. So there's no way winds and embers can take it from Palisades to Eaton. So it's uncertain how the Eaton fire began. There are no real confirmed theories as to how the Palisades fire began. Then there was the Sunset fire that happened last night with no more winds. The winds have completely died down. It was maybe very lightly windy, but there wasn't enough winds to take it from Palisades or to even take it from Eaton. Sunset is Sunset Boulevard, Hollywood Hills, coming into West Hollywood. Some of my friends last night in West Hollywood were evacuated or had to start evacuating. They could see the fire from their apartments in Hollywood. Again, I'm in downtown, so I'm a bit more center. If you can see, the blue dot is where I'm at. So I'm not directly near any of those fires, but as you can see, the fires are all spreading around Los Angeles, so it's closing in on LA. And as of right now, our only real path out, should we ever have to, fully leave Los Angeles, is going south towards San Diego. It's It's crazy. I'm gonna have Donna Bowling call in too. So she's on a different part. She's in a different part of town. She's closer to the Sunset Fire. Her family had to evacuate. I believe her parents are staying with her right now. She almost had to evacuate last night because then there was another fire that started in Studio City. And so my thing is, these are not accidental fires. There's no fucking way in hell that the Palisades spread all the way to Altadena, and then suddenly we have a fire that pops up in the Hollywood Hills. Even from Palisades to, you can see the Palisades fire to the Sunset Fire, even that's probably a good 20-ish miles apart. And the winds had already died down before the Sunset Fire began. You also have the Studio City fire, which I believe has been contained at this point. It's freaking scary. Some, like, I don't know if this is an arsonist. I don't know who, if these are deliberate. There are some people that are trying to say this is, homeless people that are just trying to stay warm, which is total fucking bullshit, because you don't have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 random homeless fires that just all happen to take place at the same time. There's just no way. There's no, like, I mean, anybody outside of California is like, oh, well, yeah, the winds and the embers and global warming. It's 70 fucking degrees. It's literally chilly outside, and you're going to tell me global warming just started all of these like, usually it's really hot out, right? And then the debris, or the dry weeds catch fire, and then it starts to spread from there, and the winds don't help it. But this is bonkers. The weather can't be doing that. There's How do we have 5 fires that start in 70-degree weather? And we had winds for one night, and the fires are still continuing to pop up. There were also reports of, not even just reports, there was actually a video that I was trying to send somebody, because this dumb lady online, she's like, this whole California thing really shows conspiracy brains of a lot of conservatives. There's no evidence of arson, no reason to believe diversity programs played any role. It's such a horror show. It's just being twisted for a storyline with no facts to support it. Yeah, how do you think we feel, you dumb bitch from Minnesota? We have no answers. We're in the middle of this shit right now. We have no answers. People don't know where to go. I'm over here boiling water because the water is likely contaminated, because the air outside is contaminated. I'm boiling water so that my dogs have clean water to drink. It's suspicious. We have questions. We don't know what is going on. There are a lot of different theories, all of these different conspiracy theories. I don't know what I believe at this point, but it's not normal. Look at, here's a video from Twitter. This posted by Alex D. Huberman on Twitter. You can see people literally lighting shit on fire in Studio City, in the valley. 5 guys spotted lighting a fire. So when this bitch on Twitter wants to say there's no evidence of arson, this is literally like, people, I think, are now starting. I don't know if these are copycats. I don't know if this is deliberate and strategic and people are trying to burn things down. Listen, guys, there are a lot of resources down below. There's a resource to donate to the fire department. The fire department is, they're struggling with resources right now. Winds have died down, but apparently the threat now appears to be lack of fire crews. So they're asking firefighters, that are in neighboring cities or neighboring states to come and support and help. Apparently there's a lack of funding with the emergency response. Fire hydrants are starting to run dry. It's, there were reports that our mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, cut the budget from the fire department. She had nothing to say when they caught her at the airport when she was coming back from Ghana, because she went on a trip to Ghana and decided she had to come back to address the crisis in her fucking city. But she cut the budget of the fire department. They claim that they're short-staffed and that they're really hurting right now. We have Governor Gavin Newsom, and this is not political, by the way. These are just people that happen to be in charge of running the state and running the city. I don't care if they're Democrats. I don't care if they're fucking Republicans. What I care about is that they need to address the people that are struggling right now. But yeah, we have Gavin Newsom, who dumped millions of gallons of fresh water into the Pacific to protect smelt instead of prioritizing the people of California. There have been concerns about the potential threats of, wildfires, which I don't even know. I mean, yes, this is technically a wildfire, but I feel like when we use the term wildfire, we think of it as a natural disaster. There is nothing natural about this. Nothing natural about this. Are there not people volunteering from other states and counties? They are. Listen, but it's like the resources are limited right now, and the fires are spreading. I believe as of right now, as of recording this, the Palisades fire has not been contained. The Eaton fire also not contained. I believe there's some containment for the Sunset fire. They were able to put out the Studio City fire, but people overfish. Come on. Yeah, it's crazy to me. People overfish. But listen, you guys, if you want to support disaster relief, the Be Strong organization, which is Bethany Frankel's organization, there's a link down below. So if you want to support the people in Los Angeles that are struggling, that have lost everything, you can donate to the Be Strong organization. If you want to support the fire department, they need all the resources that they can get. Donate to the fire department. Zack is stating a fact about the smelt fish. Newsom did dump the water into the ocean. It did not solve the problem. No, but also now we're struggling here because we don't have enough. Like, it's insane to me. We paid ridiculous taxes here in California. It's bananas to me, like truly insanity. So we also have this map here that also kind of gives you an idea. This makes it look, well, actually, I guess you can kind of see how far they're apart, like the Palisades fire versus the Eaton fire is. But I mean, you can see as of this morning, or as of when I pulled this off of, I believe this was on CNN, the Palisades fire so far has burned over 17,000 acres. The Eaton fire has burned over 10,000 acres, neither of which have been contained. I guess I can give you the live updates right now because I have Watch Duty. And Watch Duty has live updates of what's going on. So I'll give you a live update right now on where things stand. But I mean, you can even see on the app, like the pink zone, that's the red flag zone. So that's the potential, that's where the fires could potentially move to. I'm in the pink red flag zone. I'm not in the orange zones. I'm not in the darker red zones. It looks like the Sunset Fire has been contained and is going down. It only went up to 42 acres. It's currently active, but as of 41 minutes ago, at least in comparison to this, the live update in comparison to the screenshot that I had from earlier, it looks like the Sunset Fire is dying down. As of right now, Palisades is over 17,000 acres, zero containment, currently active. That's the biggest one, and that's the most aggressive one. We also have the Eaton fire that's over 10,000, zero containment, currently active. More zones continue to be evacuated. So, I mean, listen, guys, if you're close, I would say it's better to be safe than sorry. Don't mess around with this. I mean, just look at this photo from yesterday that shows, an airside view of Los Angeles. This is crazy. But this is not climate change. Maybe climate change may have a role in it, sure, but this is not fucking climate change. This is mismanagement from our leaders, regardless of what party they're affiliated to. I do not give a fuck. What I give a fuck is all of these people that are losing their homes, that are losing their lives, these animals that are lost out in the wild, these people that are having to breathe in all of this debris. It's insane to me. That's the biggest, craziest fucking part. Radio traffic indicates that the fire is making a strong push towards Mount Wilson proper. Air attack will be focused on Mount Harvard and Mount Wilson areas. That's for the Eaton fire out in Altadena. I'm going to bring in Donna Bowling. She's closer into the Sunset fire, which looks like it's now been contained, but I'll have her let us know what's going on closer out in the valley.
Hi, guys.
How are you?
Hi. I showered, so I feel better.
I'm not showered. You're ahead of the game with me.
I was not okay for the last. I don't hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
Hi, everyone. I feel better now because I took a shower. I'm not on a lot of sleep. I had one of the craziest days yesterday. It's been a roller coaster. So I just jumped on. I don't know what you said already.
Well, I was just recapping how it started in Palisades, moved to this Eaton fire. Then we had Sunset that came up yesterday. We had Studio City, which appears to have been put out. It looks like the Sunset fire is now getting at least a little more contained. How close are you to the other fires? I have the dogs here with me. They don't know what's going on, but I decided.
No, my dogs are actually not the small one that's really old, but my younger dog is freaking out. Last night was freaking out. Could feel our energy, I think. So last night was weird. I finally felt calm. I was like, we are in the clear. The Palisades fire is so freaking devastating. We could go into that for an hour, but that's far from us. I mean, it's not, but it's far enough that I'm not worried about our safety.
Yeah.
The Eaton fire also is far if you look on it on a map. Those are the two big fires, the really big fires. The the next closest fire, all of a sudden, so okay, so we're living our lives, we're doing our own thing, and then it's 5:30. I take my son to gymnastics. I drive him there because they still have a class. And as I'm driving through Studio City, Sherman Oaks, it's so like scary and weird because half the city has no power.
Yeah.
And I was even feeling weird about taking him, but he wanted to go. He's been home all day from school. And I drop him off. And as I'm driving home, I get a text from my husband. He's like, a new fire just popped up. And I'm like, how? There's no wind. Like,
Yeah.
what do you mean a new fire? Where? And he says Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
And my mom lives in Hollywood Hills, right? Laurel Canyon, Mulholland. So I said, not near my mom's, right? And he's like, no, no, because it was like Runyon Canyon, but that's close enough to my mom's. So immediately by the time I get home, which is 2 minutes later, my mom I get a text. I call my mom and she's like, we just got a text, like, we should get ready to evacuate. So I immediately drive over to my mom's house. And when I tell you, it was chaos, scary. Like, I can't even explain how fast things moved and changed
Yeah.
in those 10 minutes. By the time I got her, that was that Sunset Fire.
Yeah, and that's what I was telling, like, my friends. I'm like, they're like, "We're waiting for the official evacuation." I'm like, "Just get the fuck out," because when they issue the order, the clusterfuck of getting out with the traffic, you're gonna be stuck. Did you see in the Palisades where they had all the cars piling up and people couldn't get out, so they just started leaving their cars, and they had to literally bring trucks to shove all of the abandoned cars out of the way so that they can get into the fires. Like,
And
it's
if you know Laurel Canyon and you
yeah,
know kind of like the way it works. So Laurel Canyon and Mulholland is like the top, right? And so my mom lives on the top and we went down the valley side because that's where we live. She was coming to my house. But a lot of people had to evacuate down to the city side. And the city side is only a one-lane road. When I tell you gridlock happens so fast, it's crazy. If there was an actual fire that was going down Laurel Canyon, that's what would have happened. People would have had to pack all their belongings in their car and then just leave it all in their car and run to safety. It
I
would have
mean,
been tragic. Fires like this in Los Angeles proper would have been apocalyptic, killing uh,
yeah,
hundreds of thousands of people
yeah.
if this really actually got out of control. I mean, this is stuff out of nightmares.
This is apocalyptic shit. Like, I'm this morning, I was literally boiling water for my dogs because like you can't drink the tap water, and so you have to boil water to clean it, or to sterilize it rather. And I was like, this is like I'm looking outside. Like there's just this cloud of black smoke all over LA. Everybody's wearing masks. Like it's freaking scary.
But
So
it's so weird because also at the same time, it's like a sunny day right now where I'm looking. Like if I look to my left, it looks like devastation. If I look straight in front of me, it's blue skies, sunny.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so crazy. I don't even know which way is up right now. And they're saying more winds are coming. Right now, it's still, but they're saying more winds are coming.
Have you heard this theory? I mean, I haven't been able to make any sense of what the fuck is going on because I'm like, there's no way that the winds, as strong as the winds were the other night, what was it, Tuesday night, which they were crazy fucking winds, but there's no way they would have been able to take the fire from the Palisades to Eaton. Like, those are two completely separate fires, and then the winds die down. That there's no way the Sunset and the Studio City fires
No,
then
those were,
came up.
in my opinion, 100%. In my opinion, the the second I saw that Hollywood Hills fire, I said,
Yeah,
"How did that start? There's
yeah,
not even a power line there. It was started in the middle of a field.
yeah,
There's not even a home there where it was started. There's no power. There was no wind. A
yeah.
fire just starts out of magic?
It's just it's
And that's not an
crazy.
ember. There was no how did an ember is this like the feather in Forrest Gump?
Yeah, and it traveled
I
all
don't
the way.
believe this. This is a
No.
started fire, in my opinion. Sorry, call
Well,
me a
it brings
conspiracy
into it.
theorist.
No, I know, trust me. Oh, I showed you the text message that I got this morning. Here, let me read it. Because I said, "What the? There's no way that all of these fires, whatever." And so someone texted me this morning. First said, "Be safe out there. There's asbestos in the smoke and other toxins." And I said, "Thank you." And then after they saw my video on Instagram about saying that this is weird and there's no connection between these, like the connection is strange. I got this text. You're a fucking idiot who makes money off of Hollywood. The fact that you think there's these fires are deliberate is sad. I hope you get what's coming to you. Pathetic.
Why are people why do people take it so personally?
It's Here's the
Why are
thing.
people upset at you for having a theory that people are bad actors in this world?
Like, it's
It's
crazy.
not against that
Well,
person. It's a
not only
like, why does it hurt their feelings?
But the other thing too is it's like we have no answers at all. And we're in the middle of this. So yeah, trying to understand it is the craziest part. And then you hear what last year so many people lost their fire insurance because their insurance companies canceled their fire insurance policies. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, I don't want to go down the conspiracy rabbit because I've seen some people do it, and some people are like, oh my God, it's connected to Diddy. And there was the
You
the
can
Allie
go
Cooper.
into a
You can go
wild
all
path.
these different theories
Sure.
and link you to Area 51. And then there's this other theory about the 2028 Olympics and trying to turn LA into a smart city and all of
I don't
this.
know what that is, a smart city, but I mean, it sounds kinda cool, but I don't even know what that is. I like
It's
smart
literally
things.
taking us into the Hunger Games. I'll tell you that. It's the
Oh,
capital.
okay, I don't like that.
No, because yeah,
But
no,
this
it's
feels
not.
like the Hunger Games right now.
We're in the Hunger Games right now.
Well,
Uh,
I don't volunteer as tribute. I do not volunteer.
I'm like, it's crazy. Like, I mean, even when you look at, like, if shit really goes down and the fires do move in deeper into like central Los Angeles, we have no way out other than to head to San Diego. Like, there's no going up north. Like, our only way out is south.
When I tell you, I don't wanna give away my secrets, but when I tell you, I already planned to go to Vegas last night. Like, I told Lance, I was like, "We need to
Can you
plan
even
ahead
get
and
to
just drive
Vegas?
out to Nevada."
Can you even get there though?
I I I
You would
don't
have to go
know.
you would have to go south towards San Diego and then go around and out through, like, up and around through San Bernardino. Like, I don't know, because literally, we can't get out of California with the way that the fires have been placed here. I'll pull up the
Kelly
map.
Dodd, I'm coming to your house. I'm going down south.
Okay, um,
Why are you covering my
I didn't
face?
mean to cover your face, but that's where it's placed. But if you look at this
Oh
map,
my gosh,
you
look
can
at Danielle's lovely super sticker for you.
oh, she sent a super sticker. Let's see.
A really good
Oh my
one.
goodness, Danielle. Danielle, this is a time, Zach, when people have to put their egos aside and get their priorities straight. This is a human issue, and Americans all need to come together, pray, donate, take action, come together. Maybe you can use this and donate to whom
Send
or
this to the
yeah,
LA Fire Department.
yes,
That's who
guys,
needs it.
don't send me super chats right now, or I appreciate them, but down below there's a link you can donate to Be Strong if you want to support like people that are actually affected by the fires. They're putting together resources and cash cards that they're going to bring to people that have lost everything. There's also the LA Fire Department. There's a link down below where you can donate to support the fire department. And then below, if you're in Los Angeles or if you want to forward this to other friends, there's a whole list of resources from Uber credits and Lyft credits to Airbnb credits that if you need somewhere to go, there are resources and they're all listed in the description below. But at the top, there's a link to Be Strong to support relief victims, and there's a link to the fire department to support them.
I will tell you, I ran into firefighters because I live down the street from a little like fast food restaurant that firefighters and police officers always go to, and my mom's calling me, and I went to I stopped and I saw them, and I stopped the car and I opened the window and I was like, "You guys are gems!" Like firefighters
Yeah.
are truly, seriously. Who else runs towards the fire?
Yeah. No
The
shit.
firefighters, and not only that, have you ever seen better looking human beings than firefighters?
Right.
They are such heroes. The way that they work
Well,
in instances like this, they come in from other cities, other states. They work so damn hard.
yeah. They do. Listen, and I think this is the first time we're really able to appreciate what firefighters actually do. Like, they're going into the line of fire to save animals, to save people. I mean, as of right now, I think there are only 5 fatalities that have been accounted for, but I mean, it's there's no containment right now.
Well, that's if we don't know. We don't
Yeah,
know.
that's
Listen,
what we know. That's all we know. That's all that's reported right now.
I worry about that Eaton fire. I don't know who. I would imagine more people would be reported missing, and that's how we
Yeah.
would know if there was more fatalities. I cannot believe more people aren't reported missing with all how fast that those fires
Well,
moved
if
those
you
first
think
days.
about it, like, everybody's just trying to get to shelter right now. So they're not even thinking about reporting, or I don't even think they know how to report anybody formally missing.
I mean, I would imagine in the shelters or in the police, the guy and his dog survived. The one in the
I
house, is that
in the
what we're
house.
talking
Okay,
about?
I think that's it. Look at here's the video that I'll play. I didn't have it. But so there was the guy. Did you see this video of the guy in the
Yes, the
house with
first
fire
night.
all around? Yeah, there were 2 guys with the dogs. I was wondering if they got out and how they were able to share this video, but apparently they did get out. They did survive. It's crazy. This is why I'm telling you guys, like, leave when they tell you got to go. It's time to go.
So here's the thing, and another I think it's interesting. I'm watching a bunch of coverage. Obviously, I was watching local news. I was watching, obviously, this is national news. It's on CNN. It's on Fox News. It's on all of the big channels. It's not just local news, and it's really an incredible. It's a world disaster. I mean, if you look at Pacific Palisades, and I want you guys to see. I'm going to show you. I have a lot of personal friends who lost their homes. I want to tell you guys honestly, I've never in my entire life lived here in Los Angeles. My entire life. I have never once known a personal friend to evacuate through a fire. And in this fire, I've lost 10 personal friends have lost homes. 10.
Yeah.
Like that's wild to think about. So one of my
Yeah.
friends just sent me, I was DMing with her. She personally just sent me her friend. This was his house. I want to block her name. This was his house in the Pacific Palisades. Okay. It's gorgeous, beautiful home. And this is it now. I want you to like recognize that. Like
Gone.
imagine.
Like,
This is
just
the house 2
completely.
days ago, imagine, and this is it now.
I mean,
Like
or even like Spencer and Heidi. Did you see he posted the video footage? They had their cameras inside the home as they watched it all just burn. And even just watching Heidi go on TikTok, and she like has these moments where she's like crying. She's like, everything's got. She's like, I'm homesick. I just want to go home. I just want to be in my home.
and people are so disgusting in comments. Like
Yeah.
in the TikTok comments, people are like, keep crying. Is this your third take? You guys, fires do not discriminate. You can be so wealthy. It doesn't replace money is nothing. This is about the comfort of your couch. You can't replace the comfort of your own bed. You can be so wealthy and have
With
another bed to
kids,
go to. There's
kids,
nothing
with
like
babies.
your comfort, your home, your robe, your favorite slippers, the smells, like we all you can have all the money in the world and travel to the nicest hotels and we all crave our own bed.
Yeah.
There's nothing like it. It's just so sad. So another thing is the insurance companies. Like this is a crazy situation. Uh,
So
yeah.
the biggest thing for me is what the fuck is going to happen a week from now? All of these people have nowhere to go. They have no homes. Everything's closing in LA. Like that's the biggest concern is it's like now what? Like where does everybody go?
Over 30,000 people just in Pacific Palisades. That's over 30,000. Who knows? Have been displaced. That's just Pacific Palisades. I don't know about the Eaton
Well,
fire.
as of right now, I believe in throughout LA County, there are 100 over, I think it was 130,000 people have evacuated from where they were.
I think everyone from the Sunset Fire will soon be able to go home, and I don't believe any structures in the Sunset Fire have been taken down,
Yeah.
minus the couple in the Studio City, which is just 2 houses, so it's not bad. I believe, for the most part, all of those crazy amounts of people in Hollywood that had to leave last night, I think they can all go home. This is given that no other fires pop up. The majority of the people are in the Pasadena area, the Altadena area, which is a beautiful area, by the way. It's
Yeah.
old Hollywood. That's Mandy Moore's neighborhood. Like no one really knows Altadena. This is like it's like where they filmed Father of the Bride,
Yeah.
the outside of that
Yeah,
house.
I love yeah, I have family yeah, they've left Pasadena. And they
It's
sent me videos of
beautiful, old, like it's the neighborhoods, these idyllic, beautiful
yeah,
neighborhoods that you
that's
drive
where
through and you're like,
Girardi lived.
where?
I said that's where Tom Girardi lives. So for anyone that watches Housewives, just the exuberance of that estate gives you an idea of, Pasadena is also very Pasadena, Altadena, that's all very, hills and big,
Yeah, and I don't
nice.
believe his house got burned down, so there's, like, a lot of areas there, but it's
Yeah.
just old, very old, beautiful LA, like, it's stunning, and of course, like, not every home is like that, there's a variety, just like Pacific Palisades, there's $700,000 homes, and then there's $17 million homes, And, um, and I think with all these people that are displaced, look, I think a lot of them are very wealthy. Of course, you have the Billy Crystals and you have the Paris Hiltons. They're going to have other homes to go to. They have other homes to go to. And they have obviously the money to be able to just jump into other places. But then you have a lot of people that are just like I was watching a guy. I literally could cry thinking about it. He's like probably a 50-year-old man. He said, "My parents saved all their money. They
Yeah.
lived here since the 50s. My sister lives 3 blocks away. I live here. We all lost everything." Like, he's like, "We don't have a place to grocery shop. Our grocery store is gone.
Yeah.
Our kids don't have a place to go to school." Where do these kids now go to school? My husband and I were talking about that. Where do they go to school now? Like, where
That's
do the kids
that's
in
what I
high
mean.
school go to
All of
school?
their towns are all their resources, all their local markets and CVS's, like, but and my thing is, like, they're all gonna have to come inward. Like, they're all gonna have to come into LA, and we already have a housing crisis here. Like, the homeless population is gonna skyrocket. Like, we're gonna be in a state of devastation here in Los Angeles. Like, the weeks coming, not only that, but then the air quality. Think of how bad the air quality in LA already is, that, like, we're not gonna be fine for a while.
Well,
Uh,
the nice and positive thing about this, I'm trying to stay like somewhat
I
positive,
know.
is that I hope enough people have the means to to help and to like maybe be able to leave California for the time being because they have homes in New York or in, a lot of these people are wealthy. A lot of these people are high level
Yeah,
executives at CAA, at UTA, at Sony. These are wealthy people, a lot of them, not all, but enough of them that maybe they can. I'm acting like I know what I'm talking about. I have no freaking clue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know what you do. Like, I don't know what happens when an entire city gets torn apart. What do
I
you
mean,
do?
we've seen it in other, with the hurricanes, we've seen it with tornadoes, but,
So
like,
what happens there?
we do I mean, they're helped for a few weeks, and then they kind of just have to figure it out after, which is I mean, like, Hurricane Katrina, we saw that, like, the aftermath of that went on for years. I mean, I don't know. The other thing too is, and I remember, I think I text you about this. I'm like, is this some sort of, like, eat the rich vigilante because they're targeting very affluent, wealthy areas, Palisades, Altadena, Pasadena, Hollywood Hills, like, we're all these, like, homes in the hills that are very expensive.
Okay. Okay. I'm going to say something and this is going to get me canceled. It's not going to get me canceled. Everything gets me canceled. I will say this. I talked to my husband about this morning. I said, "I'm on no sleep, but I have to say it. I'm going to say it. There are so many damn hills in this city. There's so many mountainous regions. There's so many places where there have been fires through the last 50 years, 60 years. Wildfires are a part of California's ecosystem.
Yeah.
We are known for the wildfires. Why is it that the two biggest wildfires ever on the two craziest days of the wind, whatever happened in such populated areas where structures were damaged? Why? How? Like it normally happens, it will happen in Malibu. Malibu has had crazy wildfires, but it's normally in the brush. And
Yeah.
then maybe a few houses have been burned down. It's never happened like this. How did it happen with all these structures so much? Like that's where I went to.
Yeah, Palisades alone is the biggest like, just that one, not including Eaton, not including all these other little fires that keep popping up everywhere, but the Palisades alone has already been recorded as the most destructive fire in LA history, and it's not even the only fire that's going on right now. It's
I
crazy.
know, like, why? How? And then you think, I don't wanna be crazy because it really was the windiest day in so long. They really did tell us on Monday night, life-threatening winds are happening tomorrow. It's not the winds are not fake. It
Yeah,
was windy. I was talking to Chef Stu on his podcast on Tuesday, and my house felt like it was blowing away. Like,
yeah,
that's real.
yeah.
So,
Also,
like,
I hate people that are, like, making this I hate this
I
fucking
didn't vote for these
yeah,
people.
listen, Dog's Life said, "You voted for these people in LA, you get what you voted for,
I
sucks."
didn't
Yes, it
vote
does
for
suck.
Gavin
I
Newsom.
did not vote for Gavin Newsom, I voted to recall fucking Gavin Newsom when that was happening, and
Hate
I did
Gavin
not vote
Newsom.
for fucking Karen Bass. So, no, I'm
Ugh,
tired of people making that comment because there are so many people
you
in
voted
LA,
for them.
you people deserve this because you voted. I didn't fucking vote for them. And I'm hoping that this wakes up enough people so that we stop voting for these fucking losers that clearly don't give a shit. Did you see what Sarah Foster tweeted, by the way?
Yes, and I posted it and I said,
I want to read
he's
it.
a
Yeah.
disgrace. There I said it. And I know I'm going to get a lot of hate because
I
people are
don't
going to now. This is another thing I want to say really fast. I'm going to say something really fast and I'm going to say it really hard.
Yeah.
That's what she said. I'm going to say it hard. Okay? A lot of people here in California are so scared to ever say something that would not align with the leftist agenda. And I am not someone that ever would consider myself not a liberal. But you guys, enough is enough.
Yeah.
California is being run by the wrong people. And yes, they are Democrats. And
Yes.
I will not ever support the left here in California anymore. We have to get these people out. They have ruined us. California is run by the wrong people. We have to get Newsom out and we have to get Karen Bass out. And I'm sorry, like, who in the world thinks that they're doing a good job? Like the fish, the smelt, the smelt are the
That was
only
the
people
priority.
fighting for Gavin Newsom right now.
Yeah.
And if the people in Palisades that are still like, I will never vote red, no matter what, and their house is literally burning down, like, question yourself. Why?
Yeah. No, so Sarah Foster tweeted, "We pay the highest taxes in California. Our fire hydrants were empty. Our vegetation was overgrown, brush not cleared. Our reservoirs were emptied by our governor because of tribal leaders wanted to save the fish. Our fire department budget was cut by our mayor, but thank God drug addicts are getting their drug kits. Mayor of LA and Gavin Newsom resign. Your far left policies have ruined our state and also ruined our party." And then there was another one, plant-based omnivore wrote, "They didn't cut power, they didn't cut gas lines, they didn't save water, they diverted it to the ocean to save the fucking fish, and they didn't control brush debris."
I never thought I would be this person, but I can't handle it anymore, you guys. Like, it's a principle thing. It's like this weird kind of like, I will never stand away from my left side. You gotta wake up. Like,
Yeah.
enough, it's like it's not about deciding that your politicians don't have your best interest. Doesn't mean that, like, you're a Trumper.
Yeah.
It's not MAGA.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you're MAGA. It
No.
just means that your politicians are more interested in hiring, like, she's more interested in getting a DEI gay
Yeah.
fire chief. That was more important to her than
Yeah.
putting, like, a really, really high budget for your firefighters. No offense to you, Zach. I know you're gay. I love you.
No, I said it myself. Somebody sent me a video and they're just like, why was the priority on DEI training rather than on making sure that we have qualified firefighters that can go out and fight the fire? Like, it's just bananas to me. Redondo Beach says Karen Bass knew the hydrants were empty and she left town. Karen Bass knew the fire hydrants were empty and she left town. I mean, it's wild to me.
And I don't get it because I'm getting a lot of DMs and comments saying it's Trump's fault. Why? How?
I don't even care. Like, literally how? And then they're the same ones that are like, don't politicize this. No, don't politicize this. Where's Bethany Frankel? This is a crisis. Like, it feels even weird that we're in the middle of this right now. We're literally surrounded by fire, Donna. Like, we have a fire just like circled around us.
I also don't like, it's like when people were going through the hurricane and it would be like me telling them how to handle it.
Yeah.
Don't tell me from, like, another state how to handle my feelings and, like, what I should be experiencing and what I should be feeling. Like, it feels a little bit upsetting when people tell me, like, you're doing it wrong, you're thinking about it wrong. It's the embers. Oh, really? Like, how windy it is over there from, like,
or
Omaha?
the 35-mile distance from Palisades to the Eaton fire. You're going to tell me that was just an ember that flew? That was the never-ending ember? Like, come on.
Bernie Sanders tweeted yesterday, I hope Trump is dealing with this. Something like that. Trump's not president yet.
Yeah. It's crazy. And speaking of, like, where's our president now? I remember I got so much shit for
He's at
talking
Carter's
about
funeral with the rest of the presidents, though. That was a crazy vision today. Did you see that? It's
all
Kamala next to Biden. Behind them is Clinton and Clinton. And then Obama, Bush, Obama, and then Trump. I'm like, this church is filled. Like, it's filled to the rim.
And they were just like chatting. Like, I saw
Everyone.
Trump and Obama chatting and laughing, and I was like, okay,
where's the cocktail and the popcorn?
A good sign that, like, we can come together a little bit, but, like, also SOS here in LA.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know. I was like, I don't want to watch Carter's funeral right now. I just, like, I can't focus on it. Also, Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was on last night, and I'm like, I wanna
Can't
watch
even
that. Like, I'm so
Did you
sad
watch
that I
it?
can't focus.
Oh, I couldn't watch it. Like, I couldn't focus. Like, I remember you yesterday, you were like, "Are you watching the news?" I was like, "I can't even look at it." And then afterwards, like, as the day went on, all I could do was just consume every piece of info on this. And I was like reading all the different conspiracy theories. Some people think that this is just a bunch of homeless people that are just lighting
It could
fires.
be.
You really think 5 random homeless people accidentally lit a fire in the same 48-hour period that blew up like this?
Who do you think it is?
I don't know. I
Okay,
honestly
I have a theory.
I've gone through the Diddy theories and the Area 51 theories and the
Guys, I have a theory. I
what's
have a
your theory?
theory. It was Blake Lively.
Oh, to distract from the scandal. There you go.
I am laughing inside. It's not real. What I mean, like, literally, Justin Baldoni cannot even touch, like, the news today because how crazy would that be if Justin Baldoni, like, drops, uh, uh, um, a what's it called? A lawsuit on a day like today?
Right?
You
Yeah, we're
can't.
no. Sydney says no, but it was Blake Lively. Could you imagine?
Laura says, "I hope she wore her florals."
Oh no. They live in New York. I was like, where do Blake and Ryan live? They're quietly in New York.
I mean, I feel like we're laughing because it's, like, insane right now. It's so weird because it feels oddly calm at the moment. Like, right now, it feels oddly calm, but I also felt so calm yesterday afternoon. Like, there was a moment yesterday where I was, like, so chill, and then it turned into such chaos. So, I'm oddly confident, like, what's the word?
Optimistic.
Cautiously optimistic
Cautiously optimistic.
that things are gonna calm down and that we're hopefully, like, nearing the end, but the fires are both at 0% containment. 0.
No. It's crazy. I mean, I think they said with the Eaton fire that at least it wasn't growing. They weren't really able to like put it down, but at least it wasn't spreading as fast as it was spreading before. But like, and it looks like the Sunset fire maybe like fully contained at this point. Have you heard anything else about that? Every time I look at the Watch Duty app, the fire gets smaller and smaller. So it seems like it's somewhat contained.
The Watch Duty app it says it's smaller. My mom is going home. The evacuation orders were lifted, so my mom can go back home with her paintings. With her paintings that we threw into the backseat of my car. You guys would have died. My mom threw a juicer into her suitcase.
Yeah.
We put a juicer. Like, that's what we were packing. We were nuts. Like, you don't realize when you're actually under evacuation orders and, like, your phones are beeping like crazy. It's the craziest, scariest sound. It's like, "Wait, wait, wait, get out." Like, it's the weirdest, most and then there's helicopters everywhere, and all the cars are, like, packing up near you. And my mom all of a sudden was like, take the paintings," because they were my grandfather's paintings from when he escaped the
Mhm.
Holocaust when he was younger and, like, came to America and opened a gallery. Like, these are really, really old paintings, and that's what she thought of. Like, you take your passports, you take your paperworks, and I guess you take the paintings.
I mean, I was even because everyone keeps telling me pack a bag, pack, and I even got scared when I saw Sunset, the Hollywood Hills fire start, and then I saw the Studio City fire start, and I was texting you last night. I'm like, this is orchestrated, this is deliberate. Like somebody's lighting these fires. And I was like, the next place they're going to hit is downtown. I was like, that's the only other like if they're hitting the hills, then the other central point for them to hit is going to be downtown and possibly even like Long Beach and that area if they want to close off the city. But I was already like, holy shit. Do I need to get ready? How do we get out? Like, there's really no way out. Like, all you can do is kind of move inward towards the shelters. But if the fire keeps moving in, then what's going to happen?
Like, you need
It
a
was,
boat.
yeah, that's really all we all run to the fucking water. We go to Culver
Who do
City,
we know that has a yacht?
Sheena in Marina Del Rey.
Sheena?
No, I don't know who. I don't know.
How is Sheena? Has anyone
She's
checked on her?
She hasn't been doing well. I've checked on her. She's been like posting resources and getting together supplies to donate to like Baby to Baby to help kids in need right now. She's been trying to like post resources. So is Tom Sandoval, an
Oh,
estranged.
Tom's like alive? I
He's
haven't
not.
seen him.
he's not posting, but Victoria's posting and she tags him, so he just reposts everything that she shares.
Interesting.
Did you see oh wait, not that one. Whoopsie. That's not what I was trying to post. There was oh, here we go. Mallory posted. Can I offer some lighthearted tea? Please, Mallory, while we burn down in Los Angeles, please offer some lighthearted tea. Alexis Bellino took over Rachel Levis's podcast. Is that real?
Like for good?
Rachel. Let's look this up. Rachel goes rogue.
I heard that she and Carlos had an episode together and she
Oh,
was
yeah.
interviewing Carlos.
It went from going rogue and now it's called Rogue Energy. So the podcast has changed. It's now officially called Rogue Energy. Interesting. Juliet's still there, the publicist. Going rogue with Larsa. No, it doesn't seem like Alexis Bellino took over, but the show is now called Going Rogue or Rogue Energy.
I have some rogue energy today.
Oh yeah, don't we all?
I did an episode with Stu, and it got released yesterday, and I got a DM saying, "I can't believe that you would ever consider talking about Jen Aiden and tuna sandwiches during this time."
Okay, well, first of all, that was filmed before LA went up in flames, number one.
I know.
Number two,
but sometimes you do need like a little bit of levity.
just get out. Yeah, that's why I'm still gonna do a show today. I mean, I haven't showered. I'm a hot mess right now, but I was like, I still
I mean, we're sitting here talking about apocalyptic stuff, but
as we're in the middle of a rogue fire.
Going rogue fire.
It was so sad because I had just and I think I texted you because I was like, I feel weird posting this online, but I was ranking. So I'm currently in the top charts.
You're killing it. You are killing it right now.
I'm number 14 on Apple right now, and I'm number 9, Donna, number 9 on Spotify right now.
Who are you banging at Spotify to get there?
I mean, it's wild. I was number 9. Well, not only that, I'm number 9 in the US. I'm number 13 in Australia, and I'm number 30 something in the UK.
That's unreal. You are literally doing incredible. Yeah, right now you are on Apple Podcasts. I'm looking at you. You are number 14. I am number 19. And I'm just above Craig Conover, which is where I like to be, right on top of him.
Wow, I'm even beating Amanda Hirsch, who's been at the top. Amanda's number 10.
On Spotify?
Yep.
Zach, what do you think it is? It's the Blake
I'm
Lively.
literally number 9. Yeah, I think a lot of it is the Blake Lively stuff. Yeah.
I know. We need these fires to go away so we can get back to the goods.
I know. I mean, but are there even any goods going on right now? Yes, Mighty Grace said hit the like button if you guys are watching this live on YouTube right now.
Are we interested in so a lot of people were saying that Dorinda said something about losing out on press because of the fires last night on Watch What Happens Live. I didn't even watch it.
What a loser. I hope she didn't say that because I would be so disappointed in Dorinda. Donna, somebody's asking if you're by the fires.
I was last night.
Yeah.
But the fires got put out. Thank God. Thank you so much, S. Yeah. What did she say about the fires? She's like, I lost out on press. Some people are so tone deaf.
Actually, though, I don't care about watching The Traitors right now. I would normally love to watch The Traitors, but right now, all I can do is just be in this, which is not healthy. And I know it's not healthy, but it's different from when there's a disaster that's happening in another state, right? Because then we can tune in and go back to our regular lives. But with this, there's no escape. This literally happened. We walk outside and the air is just thick in this black smoke with just debris everywhere.
And you have to also be on high alert because what Bethany said, and Bethany actually made a really good point. She said with fires, it's very different than water. So with hurricanes, water comes at a high pace, right? It comes like crazy and then it stops. And then you deal with the flooding, but it stops. Fires just keep on coming and going and going. And as you can see, it's continuing to burn. It's like the fire destruction is not ending. And that's what's so scary. It's like a monster. It continues to just tear through the valley.
Yeah. I mean, we need to we need a rainstorm to come through. That's the only thing. I mean, listen, if these, conspiracy theorists say that they can control the weather, can they send Storm from the X-Men to come bring us some rain right now to
There's no rain in the forecast at all, and there usually isn't in January. Like, that's another thing. I mean, we are having a warm summer, like, a generally warm summer. I mean, sorry, winter, but there
not
was so much rain in 2023 and 2024. We actually had heavy rainfall for do you remember that? Like, we had so much
remember
rain in
that
California.
we had the hurricane. Remember
We
the
did,
Los
and we
Angeles
had
hurricane?
more rains in California and Los Angeles than we have had in so many years that they said that, like, that we're no longer in drought. And the reason why I think the fires got so bad is because the brush grew so much
Yeah.
that we didn't cut it back. And, like, you have so much brush to go under fire. That's why. And
Yeah.
it's really dry.
It's really dry. A lot of it's overgrown. And there just wasn't proper planning to prevent anything like this, which makes you think, like, was it just mismanagement or was there some intention behind it? Like, that's the craziest part is like being in the middle of it and seeing it on the ground. And like last night I freaked out when like they were gonna evacuate West Hollywood. I'm not in West Hollywood, I'm in downtown, but like I was like, holy shit, like everybody's now coming in. Like I'm like, do I need to get my apartment ready to start housing some people? I'm gonna have to the dogs and I are going to sit in the corner as we start bringing everybody in because downtown, it's funny, I even saw somebody tweet and they're like, wow, I wasn't thinking that downtown LA was going to be considered one of the safest parts of Los Angeles in 2025. That wasn't on my bingo card. And I was like, yeah, no shit, normally people are running from downtown LA. Nobody's like going to end up
So
having to
Brian has also brought up something really important. I saw him say it earlier about having a support. Oh, there you go. Have a support group, friends, family, neighbors. This is really important. And this happened during the Northridge earthquake here in Los Angeles, too. And it also happened during like 9/11. I remember for people in New York or around the world, like whenever something really big happens. The one positive thing about it is that you really kind of feel like you come together
yeah.
a little bit. And I've noticed, like, I'm in a WhatsApp thread with my neighborhood, like whoever in the neighborhood kind of jumped in it. And last night we were all messaging each other, like, what are you guys doing? What's the plan? So a bunch of us were saying, like, well, we're packing. What do you think? Sending each other messages. And we were all saying, like, stay on high alert. If you look outside and you see anyone, because that's what people were saying. Like, if you see nefarious activity, if you're seeing random guys in ski masks, that's what was being reported here in
Yeah.
Los Angeles, that people were seeing men in ski masks on the Citizen app. They were
Yeah.
saying that men were being, people were calling the police saying, we're seeing men in ski masks setting property on fire. And there were being reported of fireworks being set off nearby our house. So these kinds of things, we were like, stay on, and then they were saying, have one adult awake at all times in each house. So like you're aware. So like Lance stayed up until 2 a.m. last night. And then he was like, I had to fall asleep. I was up this morning at 4. Like we kind of were trying to keep up in shifts. So it's really nice to just check on each other, make sure that you have enough food in your house. I told my neighbors, like, if you need anything, obviously, I told you last night, Zach, if you wanted to come over to my house, obviously that would be weird because I was closer to the fire, but I know you're alone.
That was the scariest. Like I will say, I remember the riots in 2020, and I lived in downtown, and downtown was one of the first parts of LA that was hit. And I remember being alone, watching the city, like watching people literally, because I lived at that point down the street from City Hall, and I just remember seeing everything in LA getting looted and destroyed and set on fire, and like just freaking the fuck out because I
How
was
old were you?
this was a couple 24 years ago. I was 27,
Oh,
27, 29, 30, 31. Yeah,
wait, what year?
2020.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the
Not the
LA riots
LA
like in
riots, no.
92.
20 no, I was born in 93. Um,
I was alive.
no, I wasn't around for those
You were
riots.
a zygote.
I'm saying the 2020 riots. And I remember earlier that day, my mom calling me and being like, "You need to get out of downtown." I'm like, "It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine." But I just remember that feeling of like, "Holy shit, how do I get out?" Like they had closed off all the freeways. They weren't
Very
letting
scary.
anybody in and out of downtown, and just being alone. And I'm like, okay, at least I have my 2 dogs. But I'm like, I'm gonna get my rifle and my 2 dogs, and we got to be ready for the apocalypse. Apocalypse at this point. It was just, I just remember that feeling of like, being alone and desperate. And that's why even when you reach out and you're like, do you want me to come to you? I was like, I'm okay. It's technically safer for me to stay where I'm at, but it's just
But you
people
don't
being
wanna be
alone
alone,
right
it's
now. Yeah.
scary.
Even some of my other friends that are like, they were closer into the fires, but then they were kind of having evacuation warnings. I'm like, just get out and go stay with somebody just to like not be alone right now because it's
Yeah.
scary.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying that the closest this reminded me to was like being in the riots and looking out, like
Yeah.
when I was a kid, a young kid. My parents were out of town. My parents were actually traveling. I believe they were like in Europe, and my sister and I were like with a babysitter in LA. I was 11 and my sister was 13, and we were looking out our windows and seeing the LA go up in smoke during the riots. It was freaking petrifying. And last night felt like that for a quick second. I was like, LA may not be here tomorrow. Like that's where my brain went. I
Yeah.
was so I was so panicked at one point. I looked at my husband. I was like, I need a hug because I didn't have like I should have had Xanax. I was really going there for a second. Like I had 10 minutes of thinking when Studio City went up in flames, I was like,
I
it's
know
over.
that's when you freaked out. You're like, this is definitely arson. We need to
Mhm.
get out of here. We don't know what's going on. And that's the thing. It's like, if it is, and that was intentional, then you don't know where it's going to pop up next. You don't know where the next fire is going to come.
I just thought, like, is this like, is it just do, 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 do? Like, I didn't know.
Yeah. You don't know.
It's
You don't know where to go. I mean, even the shelters, I'm sure at this point are being overwhelmed. Um, and again, what's going to happen with a lot of these insurance companies canceling fire insurance last year? Like a lot of these people don't have coverage. I
So
mean,
this is another issue, the insurance companies. So insurance is so expensive here in California anyway. And if you guys own a home and pay for insurance, and I don't know if like renters deal with the same issue, but if you own a home, what we pay for insurance is so psychotic. You wouldn't believe. My stepdad was even at my house last night and he was telling us that he's like, a few years ago, like we paid $200 a month for insurance. Now we paid like $6,000 a month for insurance. Like it's psychotic. And now the insurance companies are already in debt. So what's going to happen here is like Farmers Insurance and all these companies, I believe they're going to all go bankrupt. They're not going to be
yeah,
able to cover this. This is not going to happen.
there's no
Yes,
way.
could this bankrupt insurance companies?
It
Exactly.
absolutely think about it. Some people already don't have coverage anymore. The people that do have coverage, their assets are very expensive. These are expensive homes that like the insurance companies are not going to be able to actually keep up with all of these requests, which again tells me like what the fuck happens now, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah. So like what's going to happen? And then my family was like our insurance, all of our insurances will go up to cover all of
Everyone
the
else. Yeah.
insurance costs and we can't afford more insurance cuz we're already paying exorbitant amounts of insurance payments.
Yeah.
So what are we going to do? Like is this going to push us out of California now cuz we can't afford to insure ourselves?
Yep.
How many people are going to be negatively affected by this experience?
Yep. I mean, it's we're gonna feel this for a while. I don't even know what this is gonna look like. Like what does
And how do they rebuild? So this is another thing. Number 1, if you're a contractor, a general contractor, you are going into like this is your millionaire season. Like you will have work forever now. Don't you think if you're a
yeah.
contractor?
Well, what do you think of this all being like some sort of orchestrated strategy to turn LA into a smart city?
I don't know what that means.
Let me
Can
Google
you
this
show me
right
what a
now.
smart city is?
Smart city. I was watching TikTok videos on it last night. So, a smart city is an urban area that utilizes advanced technology. This is what I was telling you. They're going to become smart. Yeah, that utilizes advanced technology and data statistics to optimize its infrastructure and services, aiming to improve the quality of life for citizens, enhance sustainability, and create economic development opportunities by efficiently managing aspects like transportation, energy usage, waste management, and public safety through interconnected systems and real-time analysis. So it's going to be um there was a map that I remember seeing and they're showing that like the map they were trying to make the Palisades part of like the smart city with these like roadways and
So
they're
it's
like
gonna look like the future?
that's what they're planning. And then they're saying, well, we have the Olympic. Remember, everyone was like, how is Los Angeles going to be prepared for the Olympics in 4 years? I guess we just figured it out. We just had to burn the whole city to the ground so that we could build it a little smarter.
But that doesn't make sense. Like the Palisades are so far from like where they're going to hold the Olympics. Like it doesn't make sense.
I don't know. Don't know.
I don't know, you guys. I just can't jump into that right now.
I can't either. Even like the Diddy theories, I'm like, I can't do this.
I know. My friend texted me and she was like, "Have you watched what is it, Angel Carter or whatever? Have you watched
No,
the Angel Carter videos?
no.
Something about like they're burning it all so there's no evidence."
Yeah,
I was
that's what
like,
I.
"What?"
That was the
I was
Diddy
like,
thing.
"I had slept 2 hours last night. I don't know if I
Oh,
can take this in."
Allie Carter, you mean?
Allie Carter. See, I'm
Yeah,
so tired.
people keep saying Allie Carter. I'm like, who's Allie Carter? And then I looked her up, and she's like, the fires are not by mistake. Just wait, the fires are coming, and they're not by mistake.
I kept thinking it was Nick Carter's sister.
Femtaro. Did I send you what Femtaro sent me this morning?
Yes, it scares me.
It scares me too. Let me read it for everybody. Um, She said, because she saw the video that I posted, and she said this was intentional, mark my words. And I said, there's no way this was an accident. It's so heartbreaking. She said, another distraction. It was deliberate, in my opinion. Buckle up if you thought 2024 was wild and dystopian. Wait for 2025. I said, now you're scaring me. What's to come? She said, I'm still piling up predictions with the help of my guides and meditation, but March and April is going to bring major geopolitical shifts. The Hollywood elites and general Hollywood, as we know, is going down. We will hear things about celebrities and other influential figures that will shock. Possible warfare after China invades and mansplays Taiwan. Some good news. Ukraine war will come to a halt around spring, possibly positive political news for Puerto Rico. There's more, but I'm still receiving the predictions, working on a 2025 predictions video. So if you believe in you know, psychic foretelling, I mean, listen, Femtaro has predicted a lot of things that have come true. I followed her predictions in the past, and a lot of them have come to light. It's scary.
I
I don't know.
can't like
I
there's
don't
a
know.
part of me that wants so badly to be like unicorn and rainbows still. I
Rose,
know it's not possible, but like have I can't live I almost don't want to live a life that thinks that like we're doom and gloom for always.
I know.
My kids don't deserve this.
I know.
Last night, I have to say, I could cry. I don't want to cry. My 9-year-old was so scared. I've
Yeah.
never seen him scared. My 9-year-old is not the scared kid. Like he's like the tough kid. He's the baseball player. He's like the nothing bothers him kid. My older kid is the anxious kid. My 9-year-old's like the strong one. And he looked at me at one point. He's like, I'm scared. And I was like, oh shit. Like
Yeah.
you forget that like a 9-year-old is like scared that he's like, am I not going to have a home tonight? Like
Yeah.
it was really actually like it killed me a little bit for a second. I was like, oh, like these kids are going to like be traumatized by this experience. And then you think about like all these other kids that had to actually do this and like actually lost their home.
Yeah.
It's
It's
really
crazy.
sad. It's really,
It is.
really, really
I mean,
sad.
and not there are schools, like literally everything.
I know nothing is normal again.
Like everything's been turned upside down.
I know. That's what I'm saying. It's like this is so much more than, just like celebrities losing homes. Like so many people are just like minimizing.
Yeah.
And this happens across the country all the time, these natural disasters. So this is just one of many natural disasters. But the scope of this, I think they said something like the Palisades fire is just like I think just the Palisades fire is something over like $6 to $10 billion of damage. Like
Yeah.
what? How much like I wonder if you compare this to like Katrina or compare this to what was the big one in Florida just a few months ago? I can't remember the names anymore.
Milton? Was it Milton?
Milton, or there was 2. I can't
Yeah.
remember their names.
And then
Or
or
Hawaii,
people are
Lahaina,
comparing it.
like,
Yeah, people are
what
comparing it to Hawaii.
what happened in Hawaii? Like, what does it look like now? What happened there? Like, what where did everyone go? What like, I wanna know where they went and what did they do, and let's see how we can mimic it and where are we gonna go?
Here we go. Where are they now? Updates on the people of Maui's deadly firestorm. The Hawaiian town of Lahaina experienced the deadliest U.S. wildfire in more than a century in August 2023, which killed 102 people, displaced thousands, and turned towns to ashes. Okay, this sounds like Lahaina right now. Frontier's latest documents, Maui's deadly firestorm, investigates concerns raised in the years before the fire was prepared in the wildfire prevention and critical missteps. Okay, here's what to look at. What's happened? Where are the residents now?
Helene. It was
In
Helene and Milton.
yeah. In December, Frontline spoke to residents featured in the film again about how they're recovering from the fire. Many still grapple with the aftermath of the tragedy, with some facing difficulty rebuilding homes, with others that had to relocate out of Lahaina. Here's what they shared. Peggy said that her family is still renting a home in Maui. She said she's conflicted about rebuilding their home because she's not sure that enough has been done to prevent another tragedy. Okay, so people are
Wow.
renting and trying to rebuild. Other people are still hoping to rebuild at some point. But imagine having to just completely rebuild your home. Like that's crazy. And then after going through the trauma of that, like how do you rebuild thinking like, oh, okay, we'll be fine now? A lot of people relocated out of that area. They had to move.
So my mom said last night, we were talking about California, and she said, California actually is like not necessarily, such a beautiful place to live. So many people want to live here. But the actual terrain of California is actually like a very unstable place to live because of like the mountains and like everything. It's clearly with the wildfires and the earthquakes and everything, like it's not actually, other than the weather and the beauty of it, it's not necessarily like the most desirable place to live. And it makes me think like, is this the moment where a lot of people really do decide, with the high payments, the high costs, the anxiety that it provides, the leadership, et cetera, like, is this going to cause a mass exodus from California?
I mean, listen, after 2020, so many people moved out of
Did
California,
leave.
started going to Texas and
And the
Arizona.
industry, and,
Yeah.
not only that, the reality TV, the film industry is completely, like, losing its mind here in California. It's nothing shoots here in LA anymore.
No. Brian says we need to correct the narrative. The LA fires are completely unnatural disaster. Yeah, I agree. Anybody that's like, oh, this is just climate change. This is what happens when you don't control when you don't take control of climate change measures. This is not climate. I mean, maybe climate change plays a factor in this, but this is not a climate change wildfire natural disaster at all. At all. There's no
I don't
fucking
believe this has anything to do with climate change, this one.
I don't think so. I mean, listen, it's 70-degree weather and we have fires that are popping up and people are like, "Well, it's dry and that's because of climate change and that's how the fires were able to spread." And then the wind and
There's no drought right now.
listen, it's coming from these ladies
We
in
came out of drought.
Minnesota. These
Yeah.
ladies in Minnesota are trying to lecture us on what it's like to live in California. Yeah, everyone's saying
Yeah,
it's like Hawaii all over again.
but what are we gonna do about Dorinda's press tour, though, is the real question.
Oh my god. She's worried that the show's going to flop because Los Angeles is on fire.
Oh my god, look at your dog's legs in the background.
Yeah, they're completely unbothered by anything that's going on. They have no clue.
Um, it's what's crazy is, like, okay, so what about the water? Let's talk about the water.
Yeah, the
Why do
water
we live
ran
right
out,
next to an ocean and we're out of water?
and we can't just access the water, and we didn't have enough helicopters or any of
Well,
the
no, with the first day, and the reason why Palisades and Eaton went down so badly is because the winds were actually that
yeah,
strong. They really were so freaking strong. Trees were banging into my
yeah,
house
yeah.
that
No,
it
I
was
not only that, but
dangerous for
all over
planes.
LA. It was all over LA. It wasn't just the Palisades. The winds were bad all the way out here.
It was really scary. So planes could not actually do those drops. And if you watch that footage last night, the reason why the Sunset Fire, the Hollywood Hills fire got put out so fast is because those drops literally,
Yeah,
they take it out.
yeah.
Those plane drops are the reason why fires don't actually take down so many structures. So I think that was the actual horrible experience. But why don't we have enough water in the hydrants? Like, what's happening? Why aren't we making sure our barrels or gallons or whatever the hell they're called are not filled at all times?
No, our priority is the fish, the smelt.
It's so crazy. I just don't understand. Like this is the bare minimum. Like there's a few things that we should know for certain: death, taxes, and that we have wildfires in California.
Yeah. Um, Shans says we went to Maui during Thanksgiving. They're still cleaning up. They were asking for volunteers to clear up more from the fire. A lot of areas are still closed off. I mean,
Mm.
I don't know if LA will still have that much of like need to clean up after. Like, listen, LA has money, California has money, and people will make sure that the city is clean and prepared in time for the Olympics in 4 years, which also begs the question, well, then was this something that was like, I don't know. I'm not trying to say that that is. I'm not trying to spread conspiracy theories by any means, but like there are questions that we don't have answers to. So many questions that like we have no clue what the fuck is going on, but it's not normal. It's not natural. This isn't just climate change. This isn't homeless people lighting fires all around the city. There's no way.
No, no.
Sharon
Um,
says, Sharon says,
yeah.
I'm staying in Michigan. Well, thanks, Sharon. Thanks for sharing with the class.
What'd you say?
I'm staying in Michigan.
Oh my God. Lori says, don't spread conspiracy theories. It's dangerous.
I'm saying I'm not trying to spread conspiracy theories. I'm just saying there are no answers and we have a lot of questions and we don't know. We're not getting any answers. We don't even know how any of these fires officially started.
You know what is dangerous, though? Fires.
Yeah.
Fires are dangerous.
Mhm.
How are those fires right now? Like, do we have any containment in the Palisades? Like, my friend lives in Topanga Canyon, and she had to evacuate. It's, like, right at the Topanga Canyon. I worry so much.
No, it's still over 17,000 acres that are burned. 0% containment. They're still doing evacuations. It doesn't seem like the fire's coming inward towards LA now. It seems like it's spreading outward towards like Malibu and Agora Hills. So those are
S
the places that are now getting evacuated. Um, and Eaton seems to be spreading wider to Glendale versus
So
coming
all these
Los
you know,
Angeles.
a lot of celebrities are finally speaking up out against Los Angeles, leadership, which
About
finally,
cancer.
you know? So obviously Sarah Foster spoke out. Sarah Michelle Gellar spoke out
Oh,
and
she did
said,
too?
"City of LA, you want everyone to evacuate, yet you have complete gridlock and not one traffic cop on the roads helping." She got really mad. Then, former Dancing with the Stars professional Val said, "Fifth largest economy on the planet. Firefighters didn't have enough water pressure to do their jobs. Are you joking me? The taxes we pay for third world infrastructure is unbelievable. Come
Where the
on."
fuck is our money going? Like, that's the part that's crazy. How are we not prepared to handle a crisis like this? Like, where the fuck are they putting all of our money? What is Karen Bass doing with our money? Flying to fucking Ghana again? Like, fuck off. I'm so like it pisses me off when I hear this shit because it's like, what are they doing then? Like, how are we not prepared for this? And how are we still not prepared for this to the point where neither of these two giant fires are not contained?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I mean, our 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 taxes, you don't even understand how much we pay on property taxes. Like you would cry if I told you guys.
Yeah, Karen Bass reduced the fire budget by 17 million last year. And she tried to come out and say, "Oh, well that didn't really have any impact on the firefighters." She said it didn't have the impact that people are trying to, infer that taking 17 million away from the fire department had.
It's really awful.
Yeah. But at least we're protecting the fish, right?
Thank God.
Thank God the smelt's good. And listen,
I
that's not to
do
say I
like
don't
smelt
care about
eggs.
that's not to say I don't care about the smell, but I'm just like, shit, like can we get our shit together here?
I like smelt eggs. I mean, I don't think Gavin Newsom should just resign. I truly think he should like be held in a court. Like there should be some sort of repercussion for this. I do believe the city of Palisades as a whole should like go into a lawsuit.
Yeah.
If
Absolutely. I
I
mean,
if
this is
I was like the
complete
mayor of Palisades, I don't know if they have like a city of Pacific Palisades like mayor. I don't know, but their entire city burned down. I would put all of the residents together and like do a class action lawsuit or something against the city of
against the
Los
city.
Angeles.
The city or the state?
City against someone. I don't know. I mean, your entire economy is done. Like it's your whole life is over. Like
Everything's
what?
gone. Yeah. I mean, did you see the before and after of like, Christmas time in the Palisades?
Did you
Everything is
freeze?
gone.
What'd you say? I
Can you
think
hear
you
me?
froze. I think it's Gavin Newsom's fault.
Uh-oh. They're intercepting my feed.
It's Gavin's
Am
fault.
am I back?
Yes.
Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, just looking at the before and after videos of like all of the Palisades during Christmas time, and then watching it now, and it's all just burnt to ash.
No. You guys, I was just there a few months ago. I think it was over the summer. My kids were in camp and I just went there with Lance. I was like, I really want to go to the Pacific Palisades. He had not been to like the Rick Caruso, who incidentally just ran against Karen Bass and lost because God forbid Los Angeles decides to ever elect anyone that's not a Democrat. And he is so obsessed with Los Angeles and has so much money and puts so much money towards Los Angeles. But he built a beautiful outdoor mall in Pacific Palisades. It's so gorgeous. It's where Heidi Montag always shoots her stuff. And I'll show you footage on my stories later. But it's so beautiful. And Lance and I walked around. We got coffee. We got lunch. There's an Erewhon there. There's a Whole Foods. Like it's just so cute. It's so beautiful. And I mean, it's devastating to know that that's gone. Devastating. Like it's unfathomable.
Yeah. Thank you, Danielle, for organizing the fundraiser to help California, victims of California. That's really sweet of you. I mean, listen, this is what helps. Anybody that's not in California that wants to lend some support.
Someone's
Listen,
saying, how can you people be so obtuse? What's obtuse
I
mean?
saw that.
Obese?
No, they are essentially calling us dumb and ignorant.
Oh, because we had 80 miles per hour winds and the fire started in a residential area. I
Got it.
totally agree that the fire started because of the winds.
Or they were at least spread like the Palisades for sure. But the point I've made
First
is
fire started because of the winds, Devo.
yes, yes. But my argument, they're probably talking about me, is saying there's no way that the Palisades jumped to the Eaton fire in Altadena, Pasadena
No, those
area.
are two separate fires.
I know that people trying to be like it was the winds and the winds took it because of the embers, like that whole stupid argument, and then the embers took it to the Hollywood Hills and climate change. I'm like, what? Like, or did it hurt when you fell out of the coconut tree?
Don't say it. Don't say it.
Obtuse means big and exaggerated. They're calling us fat.
Fat shaming?
Fat shaming. Oh my God! Somebody call Blake Lively. Call Blake Lively's publicist.
I need Ryan Reynolds on my side now.
Yeah.
I can say, and I think someone just called me MAGA in the comments
Oh my God.
because I am speaking up against Los Angeles leadership. See, that's the problem is that there's no gray, it's black and white with these people. People
Yeah.
say if you were against this, then you have to be that. There's no in between.
Yeah.
We can't be in between. We have to be this or that. It's not that. You can think against this, but also not that, right? Like we have to think in between, you guys.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
I agree. All right. Is there anything else you want to add to the combo before we wrap?
Well, I care about my city. I was born and raised here. My mom, came here in 1979. And, we love Los Angeles. We care very much about Los Angeles. I raise my kids here by choice. I am a LA native and I love it. And this is devastating for us to see the city literally burning down. It's so much more than just the fires. There's so many things wrong with the city and it's come to light. I think a lot of people are waking up to a lot of corruption and a lot of bad things. All we care about is the safety and the health of the people around us. And it's sad, it's scary, it's devastating. And I think a lot of people are angry, and that's really what it comes down to. But ultimately, we want everyone to be safe. And thank you, firefighters, and donate to LAFD. That's all I care about.
Donate to LAFD. The link is below. There are a number of different shelters and resources. If you know anybody that is in Los Angeles, then share the list of resources with them below. You can donate to Be Strong if you want to support disaster relief for victims of the fires in Palisades and the Eaton fire. It looks like the Sunset fire is continuing to go down. Every time I look at it, it's smaller and smaller. So that's a good sign. But the other two don't seem to be contained. They do seem to continue spreading. But I mean, if anything, the firefighters are really putting their lives on stake
Mm.
on the front lines to keep us safe, to protect us. It's scary. I mean, I can't even imagine. They have homes, they have families as well that I'm sure are scared and worried about them being out there risking their lives for us. So please continue to support them. If it is a lack of resources, then what we can do is provide those resources to help them. Like I said, don't send me any super stickers or anything. Like if you have money that you can give, then absolutely donate it to them or donate it to disaster relief organizations like Be Strong. And just be safe, guys. And like, listen, I know it's easy to get caught up in the politics. I know it's easy to get caught up in the, conspiracy theories. But at the end of the day, we have to remember, and myself included, and I have to remind myself of that as we're caught up in this, in the bubble of this, that like there are real people that are losing everything. They're losing their homes. They're losing everything that they worked so hard for. Or you even look at like Spencer and Heidi, right? And I only reference them because we know of them publicly. And Heidi's literally on there crying about how like this is everything that they worked for. And I know people are like, oh, well, they had a nice house in the Palisades. They are on TV. They must have money. But like a lot of the times, some of them don't. Some of them just worked very hard to have what they earned and they have babies to provide for. And, a lot of those fires are now trickling inwards. And, Bethany made a good point of like a lot of these big estates also have staff that live with them that don't have the resources to just go live in a hotel or rebuilds. Like, a lot of people are affected by this. So please continue to pray. Please continue to send love. Please continue to donate. And just be kind right now, Just try to, as best as you can, just have a little more empathy and yeah, just hang in there. We're gonna get through this. It's just not gonna be a smooth ride moving forward.
Yeah.
But we got each other. We got
As
each other.
long as we got each other.
We are the world. We are the people, and that'll end up on
I
Reddit.
believe the children are our future.
We're gonna go on. They're gonna clip that out on Reddit and be like, "Did you see Zack and Donna were singing 'We Are the World' on a live stream to raise money for the fire victims?"
We really should release a single.
We are the world. All right. Well, thank you, Donna. Thank you
Love
guys for
you.
tuning in. Love you guys. Appreciate you. Resources are linked in the description below, so you can continue to send love. Donna Bowling also has an incredible show, Daily Dose of Donna. She streams live on YouTube in the mornings, I believe 11 a.m. Pacific, and her podcast is available on Apple. Go listen on Spotify. Leave her some nice
Spotify.
comments.
I'm really
Show us
trying to
some
push my
love.
Spotify.
Yes, it's
I'm gonna
crazy.
go live today at 11:15 a.m. So in about 45 minutes, and I'm gonna talk about this. But I'm also gonna talk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to get your minds off the
Mm.
burning, the fire burning
Did you
on
watch
the
it?
what?
Did you watch it?
I'm about to.
Oh yeah, I'm about to watch it right now too. Because I'm like, I just need to take my
Come
brain
and
off.
join me on mine.
All right, I will.
Okay, talk to you guys later.
All right, bye guys.
Bye.
Bye.